Hello and welcome to my masterclass, The Healed Horseman's Journey, How to Become an Empowered Horseman. So, who is this masterclass for? This masterclass is for the horseman who is a seeker. It is for the horseman who is seeking a better way of being with their horses and being with themselves. It is for the person who is seeking to become a horseman that your horses want to be with, and to become the calm, confident, joyful, and peaceful leader that you want to be for your horse. By the end of this video, you will understand how healing ourselves can be the most powerful thing that you can do on your horsemanship journey. You will have an understanding of how you can heal yourself and show up for your horses as the best version of yourself. You will see how this journey can empower you to become the horseman and the human you have always dreamed of being. So this masterclass is different. You won't hear me talking about different horsemanship techniques or methods to use with your horse. This masterclass is all about you, the human half of the partnership with your horse. And so often this aspect is overlooked. We look for techniques or methods that will help our horses. And the truth is, there are many wonderful methods out there that work. However, if you haven't worked on yourself, chances are that you may be facing some challenges in your journey. So this masterclass is all about implementing deep, powerful, lasting change on a subconscious level. And if you stay until the end, you will have an opportunity to book a free strategy call with me where we discuss a plan for your own personal healing journey. So I'm going to be sharing some really valuable information in this masterclass, and I really want you to get the most out of today's training. So I recommend that you find a quiet spot free from TV, turn off your phone, turn off social media, anything that might distract you, and grab something that you can take notes with. The information that I'm going to share with you today could change your life. So it is really important that you are present. So this is not for anyone who is looking for another horsemanship training technique. There are enough of those out there already. So this masterclass is for those who may have experienced some or perhaps even all of the following challenges and are looking for ways to heal. So perhaps you're passionate about horses and you want to show up as the best version of yourself for them, but you feel that you're falling short. Or perhaps you react rather than respond to your horse's behavior. And you may react with anger, sadness, frustration, anxiety, or by procrastinating. You might be the type of person who seeks out a kinder, more compassionate way of horse training. However, you feel judged by others for choosing alternative techniques. Or maybe you don't allow yourself time to spend with your horses, and perhaps you lack balance in your life. Maybe you just lack confidence. Perhaps you feel overwhelmed at clinics or shows. Perhaps your sessions with your horses are lacking joy and you put too much pressure on yourself to achieve the outcome that you don't enjoy the process. Or perhaps you overthink things and you don't feel present with your horse. You might find it hard to absorb information when you have lessons, or maybe you're experiencing problems within other areas of your life, your work, your relationships, and this might be affecting your life with your horses. Or maybe you just feel stuck. So these are all just symptoms of a deeper pain that is buried within. And I believe our horses are incredible guides. And if you allow them, they can support you through your own personal healing journey. So, horses are a gift in that they shine a light on any wounds within us that we otherwise may have ignored. So, you'll know putting on a brave face and pretending to be calm while inside you are full of anxiety will not fool your horse. Your horse responds to what is going on inside of you. And if you've been around horses, you will know that faking it doesn't work. Our horses are so incredibly tuned with our energy, and they can bring awareness to parts of us that need healing that we weren't even aware of. So this can be frustrating to us because sometimes we just want to get on with whatever task we had planned. We'd rather ignore what is going on inside of ourselves because it is uncomfortable. But when we are with our horses, it is just us and them and the truth. And it is this truth that is the path to our greatest freedom. So firstly, who am I? Well, my name is Renee Falsanella, and I am a rapid transformational therapy practitioner. And as you've probably already picked up, I am passionate about horses. I have owned horses my entire life, and currently I own 3. I am also passionate about personal growth, healing, and self-development. So I was trained by the incredible Marissa Peer. She is the founder of Rapid Transformational Therapy, or RTT for short. She's the go-to therapist for Olympians, royalty, celebrities, CEOs, all sorts of high-powered people. But that's not what impressed me most about her. What impressed me was the fact that she had created a method that works, a method that frees people from their inner wounds and gives them the freedom to be who they really are. So the reason I'm here today talking to you about how healing ourselves is, I believe, the most valuable thing that we can do for our horses, and how it is also the key to unlocking what has been holding you back from moving forward in your life, is because I've lived it and I've experienced it. So the single biggest thing that has transformed my life with my horses, as well as most other areas of my life, hand on heart, has been through healing myself with rapid transformational therapy. So my journey with horses throughout the years has not always been an easy one. It has been a journey full of passion, love, joy, exhilaration, but also sadness, frustration, despair, and anger. And most of the challenges that I described earlier that you might be facing, I have faced myself. So I knew there was a link between how I showed up for my horse each day and the type of session we would experience together. So for instance, I noticed that if I meditated before going out to my horse, the sessions would usually be more successful. I would feel more present and the sessions seemed to go smoother than if I went straight out to my horse after I'd been at a job in an office that I didn't really enjoy. This was before I became an RTT practitioner. So I was still using the same training technique with my horses and essentially doing the same things, but who I was being was different. I was being more present. I felt more gratitude. I felt more peace. And my horse was responding to who I was being in that moment. And I started to get really curious as to how I could go about being this version of myself more often. So using tools like meditation helped to an extent. I still enjoy meditating and I think it's a wonderful tool. However, it wasn't enough for me to help heal the deep inner wounds that I was carrying that were triggered throughout my horsemanship journey. And perhaps meditation would have got me to this place of healing these deep inner wounds if I spent perhaps years meditating in a cave, but I didn't want it to take years. And I also didn't want to spend years experimenting with different healing modalities. So I was looking for something that could help me heal so that I could show up for my horses in a way that reflected the deep love, passion, and respect that I have for these animals. And if you are here listening to this masterclass, I know that you feel the same way. We all have this picture of how we want to show up for our horses, and we love them so much, and we want the best for them. And when we get triggered, when we're with our horses, and perhaps we experience anxiety, anger, frustration, it isn't because we don't love our horses enough. It's because we have triggered a wound within ourselves. And in order to respond rather than react, we must heal these wounds. It's this curiosity in healing myself and my desire to unlock my potential that is what led me to a rapid transformational therapy. When I learned that our subconscious minds are running 90 to 95% of our behaviors, everything started to make sense to me. I finally understood why I felt stuck. And through healing these inner wounds, my horsemanship journey and my life in general has dramatically changed. And I think the biggest gift RTT has given me is to know that I'm enough, which has given me the freedom to enjoy every little bit of my horsemanship journey, even the challenging parts. And isn't that what we all want? So if your journey is challenging at the moment, I'm here to tell you it's okay. I have a path that will guide you through this and out the other side, where you feel empowered, you feel joyful, you feel confident and full of the passion that got you into horses in the first place. So this is why I created my program, The Healed Horseman's Journey. And once I discovered the freedom I felt and the difference in the way I showed up for my horses, I knew I wanted to share it with as many people as possible. I've always wanted to make the world a better place for horses, and I realized the best way that I can do that is to help their humans. So I use RTT in my program. It's the fastest and most effective way of healing that I have encountered. So in the program, we also dive into how to navigate your conscious mind in a way that has your mind working for you rather than against you. We cover the rules of the mind and how you can have this feeling of your mind becoming your own best friend, cheering you on and motivating you. We also dive into the mind-body connection, which will help you to become a confident and empowered rider, as well as horseman. It is a complete program that works with both your subconscious, your conscious mind, as well as your physical body. So just have a think now. Just take a few minutes and just get really honest with yourself. Just think about what's holding you back at the moment. So perhaps you're feeling overwhelmed. Perhaps you're worried what others will think of you. Maybe you just feel stuck on your journey. Maybe you've attended many clinics and have loads of training knowledge, yet somehow you find yourself in the same place. Perhaps you feel anxious, you don't know which information to trust, which method is best for you and your horse. Maybe you're lacking in confidence and self-belief. Perhaps you're recovering from an injury and worried about getting back in the saddle. Or maybe you were just not feeling the joy that you once had being with your horses and you want to get it back. So It doesn't matter what is holding you back on your journey right now, because I'm here to tell you there is a way out. Imagine what life would look like if you were free. How would you feel? Imagine how much more fun you would have with your horse if you weren't feeling stuck, if you weren't feeling anxious and frustrated. Just picture that. So, the wonderful thing is, when we do this type of deep healing inner work, not only will your relationship with your horses change, but so will your relationship with others, your partner, your family, your work colleagues, and most importantly, your relationship with yourself will change. And when you change the relationship you have with yourself, everything changes. So, take my client, Louisa, for example. So, before Louisa and I started working together, she felt like a failure in almost all areas of her life. She felt stuck and hopeless. She had very little self-esteem or confidence. She was working extremely hard at her job, but she wasn't paying herself for the hours she put in. She runs her own business. She felt others were always judging her, and she replayed conversations over and over in her head. She rarely socialized. She had very little energy, and she wanted to leave her business. And after Louisa and I worked together, she feels so much more confident and capable. She knows her time is valuable. She started paying herself for the office hours she's putting into her business. She realized she actually enjoys working in her business now that she's given herself a healthier work-life balance. She's accepted invitations to go out with new people and made several new friends. She feels more compassion for her partner, and their relationship has improved, and she has so much more energy. So with Louisa, she came to me with issues that she thought were separate to her life with horses. She felt like she was failing in pretty much all areas of her life, including work, with her work, relationships, general self-esteem and confidence. And we got to the root cause, which had to do with these deep-seated beliefs that she was not good enough, not worthy, and not lovable. And before working together, she didn't realize how these beliefs were preventing her from giving herself time with her horses. And they were also stopping her from fully enjoying the journey with her horses. These outdated beliefs were also stopping her from progressing on her horsemanship journey. So I'm just going to share a snippet from the testimonial that she wrote me that describes the changes that she has experienced with her horses through doing this work. So Louisa says, to my surprise, after my session, I immediately started spending more time with the horses, and there was no stress or pressure. I was just there and loving the moment. Within the 30 days, I went for my first ride in years. I realized after the ride that this moment would not have been possible without RTT. There were so many parts of the process where the old me would have talked myself out of allowing it to happen. For this ride to happen, I had to first allow me to have me time. Second, be confident enough to say yes and accept the offer. And I had to have enough confidence to meet people I had never met before, ride a horse I had never ridden before. I also felt confident enough to call it when I had had enough. And Louisa then describes how the ride was challenging as she hadn't ridden in such a long time. And she says, reflecting on the ride afterwards, I think the old me would have been too defeated and embarrassed to try again. Instead, I felt motivated and positive to keep trying. Such a simple activity would not have been possible with my old mind. The feeling of not being good enough really reached into every part of my life. I was so used to it that I didn't even realize how much it was affecting me. Every moment spent with the horses is enjoyed on another level than it was before. I am truly able to enjoy the journey more and not be so focused on the destination. I thought I was already, but doing this before, but I really enjoy my horse time now. I no longer let the worry of where I should be or what I should be doing ruin my moment. I find it easier to stay calm and confident in most situations. I am so happy I made the decision to try RTT. I never imagined it would improve the things it has. I'm looking forward to more sessions with specific focus on horsemanship. So Louisa's next session is specifically going to be on regaining confidence in her riding. So how is it that we heal then? What is the process? Well, there are 5 steps in the healing process. So the first step is becoming aware that it is us that needs to make the changes within ourselves. So we generally first go through the stage of blaming things outside of ourselves for the issues we're experiencing rather than looking inwards. So perhaps we've blamed our horses, our instructor, our saddle, our gear, other people in the riding community. The list goes on. And after some time, or perhaps, of going through different horses and instructors and gear, many of us begin to realize that we're experiencing the same issues over and over. And we start to think, perhaps it's me. And there's nothing wrong with this step. It's the first part of becoming aware. And I want to be clear here. There is no shame when I say that it is you who needs to make the changes. So when we have the belief that I am not enough, sometimes when we hear that it is us that needs to do the work, we can think, oh, of course, it's me, I'm the problem, and we start beating ourselves up. I know, because that was me. But this work is not about blaming and shaming ourselves. It is all about empowering us to heal from these subconscious beliefs that are holding us back. And if we aren't aware that we have healing to do, then we remain stuck. So this awareness is a really important step. So the second step is to understand our triggers so that we can get to the root cause of our wounds. And once we find the root cause, we can heal it. And the root cause of the wounds that we still carry around with us today are due to the beliefs we made up about ourselves and the world in our childhood. So here's something really interesting. Most of the beliefs that we have about ourselves and the world were created between the ages of 0 and 7. And these beliefs were created before our logical minds were formed. And many of the beliefs that we're still carrying about ourselves to this day are irrational and untrue. So using RTT, we access your subconscious mind and we go back to when you first ever started believing these unhelpful beliefs that are currently running your life. So the most common beliefs that I come across in my sessions are, I am not enough. I am not lovable. I am different. I don't belong. I am not safe. And if you are thinking, well, I had a great childhood, I don't have any inner wounds, I'm here to gently tell you that you do. We all do. Nobody skates through their entire childhood without picking up some negative beliefs. And of course, these beliefs can come from what many would consider to be big traumas, but they can also come from what we would consider to be sort of general everyday sort of events, such as perhaps a client goes back to being 4 years old and she's going back to thinking that, oh, my dad favors my sister. And then what does that mean to her? She says, well, it means that my sister's better than me. And then what does that make her believe about herself? Well, I'm starting to believe that I'm not enough. So similar scenes, it could be like, my mum is never home. And the child starts to think, if I were more lovable, she'd want to be home with me. Therefore, I mustn't be lovable. Or it could be something like, I get punished when I speak up. Therefore, it's not safe for me to express myself. So a belief is just a thought that we think over and over, and it's these beliefs that run our lives. And the child that believes these sorts of limiting beliefs carries on to become the adult who holds themselves back from living their ideal life. They might feel stuck in many areas. They might struggle to share their ideas and speak up. They might be results driven, but they can't enjoy the journey or the process. They may be overly critical of themselves. They might put others' needs before their own, even if it means that they will suffer. And the list goes on. The third step is acknowledging that healing these wounds is your responsibility. So you may have come up with these negative beliefs about yourself due to negative events in your childhood. And these events were not your fault. And we cannot change the events. However, we can change the beliefs that we created as a result of these events. And remember, these beliefs are often created before our logical minds are formed, and they're irrational and untrue. So no one can do this work for you. And if you're waiting for a hero to swoop in and save you, well, you may be waiting for a long time. However, you can be your own hero. In fact, you are the only one who can save yourself. And the fourth step is bringing your wiser, older, compassionate self back to the younger version of you that created these beliefs. And using the understanding you have now, you can see that these beliefs are irrational and created with the mind of a child. You can see why you no longer need to hold on to these beliefs and let them run your life, and you can let them go. And the fifth step is installing these new beliefs that are in alignment with your goals and dreams. And in my program, after you've had your RTT session, you will receive your own personalized hypnosis audio that you listen to for at least 30 days. And what this does is it wires in these new beliefs. Using hypnosis, we are able to program your subconscious mind. So why is this important? Well, remember, our conscious mind is responsible for a tiny 5 to 10% of our thoughts, and the remaining 90 to 95 is coming from our subconscious. And our thoughts create our emotions create our behaviors, and our behaviors create the events in our lives. So this is why when you change your beliefs, your life changes. And our minds learn by repetition, and by listening to your audio daily, these new beliefs take root, creating new neural pathways. So what are the results from this? Well, the adult who heals from these inner wounds and installs these new positive beliefs goes on to pursue their wildest dreams, feel the freedom of living a life that they've designed, share from a place of authenticity, enjoy the process of each journey, and consider failures as simply steps to their success. They give themselves the life of balance and time to follow their passions. and they can be at peace with where they're at and have compassion for themselves and others. So, doing this deep healing work is nothing short of life-changing. As I said, you will notice changes in all areas of your life. And if you have limiting beliefs running your subconscious, it is likely that you find yourself repeating the same patterns, no matter what horsemanship method you try. So this is why changing ourselves is the key to changing our horsemanship journey. So what happens next? Well, you have all the steps that you need now to become the empowered horseman that you've always dreamed of being. You can take each step and you can research them and you can try to do them on your own. However, without a guide, it can be really difficult to access your subconscious mind and also extract all of the relevant information as well as install the new beliefs. So without a skilled practitioner, trying to do this process on your own can feel a bit like you're spinning your wheels and never really getting anywhere. So most of us, when we finally discover there is a better way, we feel like we've already wasted enough time. I know that from my own experience that although I do trust the timing of the universe, I often think of all the unnecessary pain. I could have saved myself and my horses if I found RTT sooner. But if you do not want to waste any more time, if you're over feeling frustrated, not good enough, stuck, reactive, or you just feel like you're not showing up in the way that you would love to for yourself and your horse, you can book a free call with me and together we can discuss your own personal healing journey so that you can become the calm, confident, empowered, peaceful leader that you've always wanted to be for your horse. So for a limited time, I'm working with clients completely one-on-one where you receive my undivided attention and we can work together to remove the blocks that have been holding you back. And I work with people who are committed to the process and ready to make the changes because, as I said, I cannot do this work for you. However, I can help you to heal yourself with the most effective method that I have experienced. So after this limited time, I will then be moving on to working in groups. So if you would like to take advantage of this opportunity to work with me one-on-one, then now is the time. So if you're not ready to invest in yourself, you can join my free Facebook group and I will share a link with this to this below. And you can find all sorts of tips in this group that will help you along your journey. So thank you for using your valuable time to watch this masterclass. It is my greatest joy to make this profound type of healing available to as many people as possible. So thank you for showing up today. And when you're ready to receive this type of healing, I'm ready to help you. Thank you.